guys both so much for being here. And if you don't mind with me just talking about the origin story of this movie, since it's new for so many people. Natalie, it's my understanding you saw concept art and the premise for Arco and said, okay, yes, I want to be part of this. You and your producing partner, Sophie Maas. So how was Ugo so persuasive with, it's just a germ of an idea to get you to sign on board?
Well, Jamil Shamazdan, who is a dear friend of mine and who I also work with, also works with Ugo, and his partner remembers Felix. And he mentioned to us that they were working on a feature, and we were, of course, interested to see and read. And we were able to see an early kind of, what would you call it, animatic of the work, and we're so blown away by the art and the vision and the style, and then also very moved and excited by the story and how inspiring and special and what an auteur Ugo is. So we were so excited to get to be part of his first feature.
Yeah. So Ugo, what did you have at that point? What did you know that you were going to be able to make from Arco to show your vision to them, to make it clear what you wanted to do with it?
We had the 45 minutes animatic,
oh,
and
okay.
we had the rest in storyboard, and yeah, that's almost it. Yeah. And yeah, we just wanted to finish it well and to protect the overall idea until the end, and that's what Sophie and Natalie helped us doing, and yeah, they were kind of our protectors.
Yeah, I'm interested in what you say about a protector, because I think that's the ideal situation for a producer on a film. Doesn't always work out that way. So for Ugo, from your perspective, what did that mean? What were Natalie and Sophie protecting you in the movie from that could have gone wrong?
I don't know how you did it, but you understood exactly what I wanted to do and respected it, and we didn't touch a hint of of the idea. Ideas are like small stones, and if you cut them too much, they disappear. So it's really fragile. It's small, so you have to be really precise when you work on it. And working with Natalie and Sophie really helped us doing this job safely, in a way. I don't know if safely is the good word, but
yeah. So what did that protecting mean for you, Natalie? What were you shielding Arco from?
Well, I think that it's such a unique vision, and you want it to be able to have that purity of voice that Ugo has, and that we were able to make it independently, for example, and not have too much noise and just let Ugo do what he does so well, and then have the resources to do what he needs to do, and then preserve that vision and just give him that space and freedom, and that was our goal, and we're so lucky and thrilled with what you created.
Yeah.
And also because in terms of structure counts when you're working, and all this allowed us to make everything in Paris in the same neighborhood. So I had all my team under my watch, and was walking around all day, and it's kind of dumb, but this is what allowed us to make good work.
Yeah, well, we talk about good set conditions all the time with live action, but it sounds like in animation, if you can go to an office and you have everyone in front of you, those small things really make a difference, right? I mean, Natalie, you've produced a lot of other projects, but animation, it works so differently from live action. It's such a long process, so many meetings and everything else. So what did that challenge for you as a producer that you hadn't been able to do before?
Well, I think it is such a long process, and it's so incredible to get to see what you do during that time and how it changes and grows and evolves during that time. And it is a learning process. And like Ugo was saying about it being in our town, I think everyone has big life events happening. Ugo had 2 kids during the making of this movie. So being, having this kind of centralized space in Paris was super crucial for everyone to be able to be involved, support, and also have lives, because it is a 5-year process you went through.
Yeah. I mean, so talk about kids and the tone of this movie in general. There's such this lovely balance of realism about the future and optimism at the same time. And I think you guys have both talked about how that tone was so important to you, about having this vision and making it kind of a safe world, but an adventurous world. And I guess to start with you, Ugo, what was that vision of the future you wanted to show in this movie?
I wanted to take seriously, to respect kids' intelligence, and because if we lie to kids, they see it right away, and I wanted to tell them, okay, this is the world we're living in fact, but we have something inside which is a superpower, and it's imagination. It's believing in things that are small but that can become important, and I wanted, to give a hug to the kids and also the kids that are inside us, the adults, and to say, let's imagine better things. Let's take our imagination seriously and our desires seriously, in order to make them possible.
So what was a part of that spoke to you, Natalie? You were saying, with his vision and what drew you in. What part of that vision of the future, or how he thought about the story, resonated with you the most?
Well, I think it was so brilliant of Ugo to design these two time periods as both futures.
Yeah.
One is kind of the present of the film, but it's a future for us. And so one future is quite scary and one future is quite beautiful and optimistic. And it's like, we don't know which one we're going towards, and it depends on the imagination of people now. And it isn't pessimistic or optimistic. It's like an appreciation of, we don't know what's going to happen, so we have to be active participants.
Yeah.
And I think that's an incredible inspiration for kids, not to be like Pollyanna, like it's all going to be okay, or to be like scary and be like, it's an apocalypse, like we don't know what's happening, but be like, listen, there's challenges, we don't know what's going to happen, but you have to be involved and use your creativity to make a more beautiful future. Is like exactly the environmental message we want to tell kids.
And also to say, it can be crazy, it can be a crazy adventure to have all these ideas and let's go with proud, how to say, avec énergie,
with the energy and imagination and creativity, that it's fun too. It's not like arduous.
And pleasure also.
Yeah. Well, there's the environmental aspect of the future scene in this, where you see probably the results of what we're seeing now with wildfires and floods and everything. But there's the robot aspect of it too, and the level of humanity that's in this future. I think I saw someone describe it. It's like it's futuristic, but it's not cold. Even though there's robot servants and the parents are kind of absent, it feels very relatable and very human. And I think that's something we all think about with animation and with making films, about keeping the human element in that. And I wonder if you wanted that to be part of the story and also part of the process of making this, of the human touch kind of being very visible.
Yeah. In science fiction, it always strikes me, we always cut the humans from nature. Like if we weren't the same, but we are part of nature. And to me, it was really important to show it and to show that there is no black and white world. There's a lot of shades of gray, and we're always in between these all shades. And if we want to depict the world, I think we have to be complex in a way. The storyline has to be simple, but driven by complex, undercover layers. And I try to do that in my work. I try to.
Yeah, I mean, Natalie, you're saying you're proud to be able to make this film independently the way that you wanted to. I think independent film is where we often look for the human touch in film, as opposed to a lot of other options. And I mean, in your work as a producer, as an actress, like, how do you see that being able to push forward, keeping that human, personal aspect in movies? Kind of, I guess, all odd sometimes it feels like. I wonder how it feels to you right now.
Well, I think something also that Ugo did that you've been talking about a lot as well is the hand-drawn nature of the animation keeps a human touch, that there's like, there are mistakes, there's errors, and that gives a sense of humanity to even just the visuals of what you're seeing. And so you get that sense. And even the robot has the voice of both parents. So it's like, yes, the person or the thing taking care of the children is kind of an amalgamation of the parents. So a lot of these ideas are like not rejecting technology, not making like a negative statement about technology, but reminding the importance of humanity and human connection.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you go for you as an animator, like what is your relationship with technology in that way? I think everyone thinks they can plug something into an AI and make something that's beautiful, but I think anyone who really makes movies knows that that's not possible. How are you operating within that?
I have an example for that because before, at the very beginning, I wanted to blend two Mickey's voice, like Natalie and Mark, with AI, but it didn't work because it was too perfect.
Oh, wait, so you wanted the robot voice to be blended to blend two humans and with AI. I see.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we recorded all the sentences with Natalie and Mark, and before with Alma and Swan Arlo, and but when we were doing it with technology, it didn't work because it was too perfect. So there was no connection, and what we connect on is imperfection. So we cut it with almost scissors, you know, like the voices, just to make them fit not exactly, and this was a real lesson to me, like a confirmation of my thought. It's like when it's perfect, we don't connect, we don't rely on, and we don't believe in it.
Yeah.
And this is what is gonna save us. I mean, it's that we make errors. And there's a really old sentence which is really important to me and should be, I think, for everybody, is that, and we must not forget this, is that ex falso verum sequitur, from wrong comes the right. And it's we have to keep these old wisdoms, you know, in ourselves, and be able to rely on them again. And
Yeah. So Natalie, you're the mother in the English language version of it. I think when it was at Cannes, you knew you were going to be a voice, but you didn't quite know yet.
I'm the mother and half of Mickey voice.
Half of the
with
robot.
Mark Ruffalo.
So how was that experience of finding the English language voice cast? You know, I know a lot of times international films, so many more people want to see movies with subtitles. With a kids movie, it's a little bit different. But so how did you guys work that out? How did you find the right voices to bring a new version of the story to life?
It was so incredible because we were so lucky. It was a very quick turnaround to do the English language version, and we reached out to our favorite people to do the roles, and everyone said yes, who we asked, because they loved the film so much, and it was very moving and very organic. And yeah, we're so lucky. We have Mark Ruffalo, America Ferrera, Andy Samberg, Will Ferrell, Flea. It's just, and these incredible kids. I mean, first and foremost.
Yeah.
And we really wanted the English version to be as good as the original one.
Yeah.
So we put it a lot of attention, and also not translate it, straight away, but try to adapt also the cultural aspects in terms of energy, in terms of voices, and a way of speaking.
Is it a weird thing to see your movie change in that way? It's like it's the same but not the same.
I think it's
different.
weird if you try to do exactly the same, but if you accept that it's different and in the best way, it's great.
Yeah.
And so it's also great to discover his movie differently, and so it's great.
Yeah, I mean, and bringing it to different audiences too. Like, do you think that there's going to be, English-speaking audiences might see it in a different way? Does the message translate the same universally, or do you think there will be differences?
I think it allows the American audience to understand it better than if we had done it like, exactly the same, because there are subtle things from a language to another that make the difference.
Yeah. I mean, to ask you guys a big question to end up, the time travel in this movie is fascinating. And I love time travel. I love rules. It's always kind of hard to figure out. How do you wrap your head around how your time travel is going to be? How do you set up your own rules? Do you base it on something else? Is it a puzzle to solve?
It was really hard at the beginning because we thought we were doing a science fiction movie. And science fiction always come, as you say, with rules. But working, I found out that I wasn't doing an actual just a science fiction movie, but a fantasy movie, and also an adventure movie and a rom-com, and that I had to use all these tools in order to not do the things that I don't like in science fiction is explications. Explainings. Yeah. So
plot dump or
and technology, in fact, for I mean, the future technology for us is magic, because we don't understand, and even our phones, I don't to me it's magic.
True.
I don't know how things come into it from scratch, so, and I think if we show our phones to middle-aged people, they were like, so yeah, we it's magic, so we used magic to be, to make the story better.
Yeah, it really sparks your imagination when you think about that way, just sending your phone back in time and what would happen from it. Well, thank you guys so much for being here and
Thank
for
you
making
so
this
much.
movie, and thank you everybody for watching.